Hello, and welcome to HOI4. Today, I'm gonna just play a random mod I found in the workshop. It's called The New Order, Last Days of Europe. It's a alt history mod related to Germany taking over the winning World War II and showing like a Cold War scenario of it. So it just got released 2 or 3 days ago. Like in its full version. They had a demo before. I tried it out. It was pretty interesting. I'm not a nerd. You're a nerd. And we're gonna. I don't know. Keelan, what do you think we should do in the mod? Like, okay, so we could either play as. Okay, let's quickly. Once we load up, I'll show you. There's 3 different factions. Four different things factions we could kind of go down.
You better shout me out. If you don't shout me out, I'm gonna be angry.
I already shout you out, Keelan.
My phone case is broken.
Okay, single player.
Riley,
You
your
get.
phone case is breaking.
I think you're dumb. Okay. The New Order. A new order has ascended upon the world. With the triumph of the Axis powers in the Second World War, the world has forever changed. Yesterday's great empires are now dust under the boots of today's victors. A German lands on the moon as Hitler fades. In America, the old system lies shattered. The Mediterranean power balance lies on a knife's edge. China, a little more than a slave of Japan, begins to transform itself. And in Russia, long-damned warlords realize their destiny. So we could either go down, we could either be America or South Africa, like to follow the Allies. We could be a part of the Nazi gang as one of these empires, which are basically just all vying for Hitler's throne. And then we have these warlords in Russia that want to take back. You know, they're like, I remember when Russia wasn't dead, and I want that to be a thing again.
I want to be
like, hold up, let's just quickly say we're clicking this guy. So, Russia used to be the here.
I want to be.
Russia used to be here, right? Oh, we could also play Britain. We could try to bring Britain back. You know, fuck up Hitler's. Hey, mate, I'm gonna fuck you up, mate. You know, we used to be a thing, you know, but we're gonna fuck you up, mate. Like, we could do that. Or we could be the disabled French state. Like, maybe we could go, like, Vive la France, you know? Like, England? You wanna try to bring back...
I wanna be Scotland.
Scotland, mate?
Yeah,
I don't think it has a focus tree yet, though.
God damn it.
I think we can go England, though. We're gonna bring it back. We're gonna tell Hitler, like, hey, old man, you remember these king's butts? Ugh.
Well, ow, I wanna look around.
Move the cursor.
What? How do you even pronounce
Reichskommissariat Moskau.
Jesus Christ. Are you in...
It's basically just a government-controlled area of Moscow.
Are you in German? This is in German.
So, oh, wait, is that a Poland faction? Poland? 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 Poland?
I want to be.
I kind of want to be England and bring back the. I mean,
okay, fine.
we'll see.
England. We'll be England.
We'll see if Scotland has a tree. If he doesn't have a tree, we're switching to Britain. Okay.
All right.
Last free democracy in Europe. That's interesting. Scotland forever, mate. Okay, let's see. Do we have a? Oh, we have a focus tree. That's gonna give us a new focus tree. So this is not our entire thing. There's more to it. Okay, so let's bring this up. Scotland forever. During Britain's darkest hour, a light that had lasted for 300 years.
Can I turn him into Danny DeVito?
We'll find out.
I
was finally extinguished. In its place, a new one had been ignited. One that had not seen the light for 300 years. Scotland had been formed by desperation by General Douglas Wimberley, the famed general of the 51st Highlanders, and John McCormick, the founder of the small Scottish Nationalist Party known as the Scottish National Party. Wow. In the enduring chaos after the invasion, Scotland was flooded by refugees from England, looking to run away from the regime popped up by the Germans. The Scottish people and SNP as a whole are distrustful, seeing them as oppressors.
Wait, am I just stupid, or isn't Scotland in England?
It used to be, well, it was part of Great Britain, but then the Nazis kind of fucked that shit up, so they became independent. That's what's going on.
Oh, but then they reemerged, right?
Seeing them as oppressors who had controlled them for 300 years, many worrying that some of these refugees would have been agents by the collaborators. As time has shown, these fears are yet to come. In 1962, the year we're in, John McCormick, known effectively as the King, being compared to the Scottish kings of old, his protege Robert McKendry has served as his prime minister. Hey, it's Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito's gonna be like, hey Hitler.
I just realized
I'm the trash man.
trash man.
Has served as his prime minister, as well as serving as the member of the SNP. However, not all is well in one of the last bastions of democracy in the British Isles. McCormick is growing sicker and sicker every day, with his health declining. Oh, no, not Danny DeVito. He's sick. His death
Danny DeVito's sick.
After leading the country for 19 years, he could have drastic results as Parliament discusses bills and other proposals. Many of the Scottish people are worrying that their country...
Riley, we're Robert, not Mac McCormick.
Oh, what an idiot.
You're an idiot.
Could be paralyzed state after his death. However, some opponents have used McCormick's nickname against him, comparing him to the dictators of Europe due to his uninterrupted rule. While it may seem like a one-party state due to the dominance of the SNP for the past 19 years, there had been two other primary parties who had been biding their time, campaigning to gather representation in the Scottish Parliament. As the forefront of the two is the Independent Labour Party. In the chaos of uncertainty in the fall of England, the Labour Party fractures and the slow demise. Many of its members have been arrested and detained by the Gestapo, as many have fled to Scotland and the Scottish branch. It's basically a secret police.
This is so long.
Dude, they write everything. This is a minor nation, dude. I wonder how much lore is for the just for.
Wait, hold on. Can we just? Oh my God, there's too much.
Okay, well, did we?
Now I know why this takes so long, dude.
I think this is what in the. Okay, well, we got the country info. What are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Okay.
Please help me.
Nyom. Okay. So we are in the era of a... Okay. Nyom. So, Velocity features a complex economic... Okay, you know what? Fuck it. In defense! We're gonna take over. We're Scotland forever, mate. Okay,
Scotland.
Look. This is really confusing. What is this?
We must take over Britain.
We're gonna take over... We're gonna make the new Great Britain, except we're gonna be really stereotyping the Scottish the entire time.
Yeah, but later...
It's so fun.
Just to later in the world re-emerge with them.
Yeah, imagine being a Nazi, mate. We're building up, mate.
We gotta take over
free dockyards, more like free balls.
We gotta take off a new castle.
Look at this. Infantry equipment. Why is this such a bad graphic? Bop. Oh, what is?
Tank. What is that?
APC. Support equipment, baby. Okay, I think this is all we'll need, so do that to that. Okay, national focus. Alone on the Isles. Once the people of the island of Britain were joined under a united kingdom.
People.
A nation that upheld the values of freedom and democracy. A nation that would build the greatest empire on earth with a brave army and a navy that nobody can match. A land that defeated threats to freedom such as Napoleon and Kaiser Wilhelm. Regardless of what one may think about our position under London at the time, nobody could deny we were safe with our English and Welsh friends backing us up. Now the United Kingdom is gone. Our friends are gone. And we are the only free people left in the island of Britain. Sorry, I'm crying. I want this island have a tree. They don't have a tree.
Alone. Everyone's alone. Everyone's alone, mate.
What's Wales? They're authoritarian.
Oh God.
Authoritarian.
Yorkshire.
They're all a part of the German faction, led by the old man himself.
The old man himself.
Mein Gott.
What is this?
Okay, let's get our divisions ready.
Spooky, you just came in. Are you kidding me?
He's like, I don't want to be in. Field General Douglas Wembley.
I swear, if you come back
and Eric Miles. Okay, we gotta exercise. Prepare.
Oh God.
We must prepare for the worst.
Dumb
Low manpower,
fries.
more like
It's dumb fries, man.
Dumb flies.
Dumb fries,
Okay, now
man.
Speed is now the key. Oh, the decisions. The Armed Forces paranoia. The Scottish Armed Forces are extremely paranoid about the threat of a pact invasion, aka the German faction. Their name is the Unity Pact. So they're scared of a pact invasion.
Danny DeVito.
So we have Darius Scrappadil when Scotland became.
That's really hard to
So basically, we're scared of stuff. Itchy Trigger. The situation which is spiral control, Scotland could go down a dark path. Does that mean we could go crazy? The light in the north plus 10. Dude, we're the light. Everyone's like, oh, dude, that Scotland guy, he's got a democracy going on. But Hitler's like, yo, dog, you gotta be a dictator.
Guess what?
What?
I want to be evil.
English refugees, we have a huge problem with that, I guess.
Hey, Riley, what's the latest, what's the earliest we can take over?
It's gonna take a little bit, mate.
No, please.
Not quite alone.
Shit.
Someone's
Someone's
Ireland?
invaded!
Are you gonna help
Someone's here!
Oh no, he's authoritarian too. Dude, no one. Dude, he's a part of the pact. Dude, wait, Wales? Wales isn't part of the pact. A free Wales? Our friend. Is he coming back? The coal question. I don't care about coal. Oh no, they could go socialist. No, God. Holy
Danny DeVito.
We gotta hope Danny DeVito saves us. Am I
He
recording?
doesn't really look like Danny DeVito because he's not short.
Yeah, we're recording. Okay.
He is not short. Thick,
Glasgow, mate. Okay.
You
have a multi-party?
Riley,
What?
this is a disappointment. Danny DeVito is not. This man is not short, thick, and cute. Therefore, he is not Danny DeVito.
He's been. Hey, get out of
He's
here!
an imposter.
Get out of here!
He's an imposter. Get him out, mate.
It's still a really terrible Scottish accent this entire game.
It is.
So we have the Independent Labour Party, and we have the Scottish National Party, and then we got the Unionist Party. Oh.
I want to take over something.
We're basically really scared that we're just gonna get destroyed at any
So
moment.
Riley, I have no clue how to play this game.
Oh, I was pausing the entire time, so.
Can you teach me
So,
how to play? What do you-
Basically, I have no fucking idea. This is a completely new mode. I have no idea what's going on.
in the normal game though, what do you do?
Basically, you want to make your own destiny using national focuses. You know, in the normal game, there's 3 different powers. You know, you got the Allies, then you got the Axis,
Is there a way I can
and
do
the
a
Comet.
tutorial?
There's a terrible tutorial with the base game that comes, but I recommend you. Oh, the Reich/Conquest on the 19th of January 1962. Eberhard Kolan became the first man to ever land on the moon.
Wow.
A German on the moon. That's in all history.
Wait.
While the space race has been struggling between the Reich, Japan, and the USA, while the American...
Scottish brother.
That's not a Scottish man on the moon! Am I right?
You piece of shit.
And while the Americans had managed to put the first man in space, the Führer was proud to announce that the German landing firmly plants the Reich as the victor in the competition.
I love how it took me to say Scottish brother for you to realize.
A grand ceremony is planned in Germania to the President Kohlenher and his fellow astronaut to the Iron Cross in a week of celebration and declared across the Reich. While terse congratulations have been sent from America and Japan, President Nixon has vowed that the United States will be the first to create a permanent mission to the moon. And Japan shortly Threatener announced it would be the first to land on Mars.
Brother.
Is the space race over? What? This is a weird timeline.
Brother.
What? Oh, we're on DEFCON 4.
We need to go to
What does this
the
mean?
moon.
Wait.
What's that mean? Hawaii?
Oh, there's a DEFCON system?
What's a DEFCON?
So basically, this is like the measurement they use to determine how likely. So DEFCON 5 means everyone's chill. DEFCON 4 means everyone's like, oh, I'm a little nervous, man. DEFCON 3 means there's war going on, like World War. DEFCON
One's like, hell no, we need
DEFCON 2 means imminent nuclear strike, and DEFCON 1 means nuclear war.
They're like, hell no, we need to go to the Pacific Ocean, create some holes.
There was a Hawaiian missile crisis. What happened there?
Can we get to the point where we're at DEFCON 1? I want to get there. Is that possible?
I think, well, Scotland's not going to get nuked.
Yes.
A man on the moon. I want to look at this.
We gotta be
The enemy of my destiny. The enemy of my enemy. Wait, what?
What are you talking about? The enemy of my enemy.
Assassin strikes at Hitler.
Yay.
News from Germany is sporadic at best. Information smuggled out of Germany reports that shortly after celebrations over the moon landing settled, military units and several platoons worth of bodyguard units filled the streets and immediately put the city under martial law.
Brother.
What?
Was Hitler in Scotland?
Don't worry, it was my best man I sent on the job.
Wait, was Hitler Scottish?
Wait, I'm looking at something.
Was Hitler Scottish? Brother!
What?
Was Hitler Scottish?
I think...
Oh my god, the condom horse.
I think you know what this means?
What?
I think this means that you literally will take out the USA from the inside. Because the Trojan horse was a Greek...
you mean the condom horse?
That's the name. That's the brand name. But the actual Trojan horse was a thing that So, basically, the Greeks like, I have a present for you, right? Wink, wink. But there's an entire army inside the horse. And so when they were like, oh my god, this horse is so epic. And then they let it in. They're like, beer's on me, guys. And then the army's like, yo, what is?
What's up? What's up?
So I think this means that we literally will take him out from the inside. That sounds really cool. But
so
you know what? We're Scotland right
America.
now. We're not. No, I'm talking about the Germans. I'm gonna play as them sometime. An assassin. Okay. Okay. Apparently, an assassin, which the Germans claim belonged to the Japanese Kempeitai, aka the secret police, attempted to kill the Führer, aka leader, but was stopped in his attempt by one of the Hitler's bodyguards.
Brother.
Already, reports of various assassination attempts have surfaced. In the streets, the various military units nearly came to blows. As several units ordered each other to stand down, the chain of command fell apart. Suddenly, the Reich seems much weaker. Can the Germans maintain their new world order when they can hardly handle themselves? A house divided.
Scottish brother.
Was
Hitler Scottish?
No. We're gonna muck that fool. Do you wanna know why? Because he ain't Scottish. Okay, we're about to go.
If he ain't Scottish.
We're about to finish the thing. Alone on the Isles.
Brother.
What?
If he ain't Scottish and he ain't working with us, then we either don't care or we're gonna murder him.
Even in our isolated highlands, we can never forget about our neighbors. The collaborative government in England is nothing but an extension of the Reich. The German troops make sure they always remind us of that presence. Even if they can't attack us directly, this has the effect of spreading fear and paranoia among our armed forces. In order to ease their worries, we need to organize a propaganda campaign aimed at celebrating our military strength at the same time. Okay, we're basically just gonna pretend we're good. Wait. Scotland forever! Since it's the very birth, Scotland has fought for its freedom. Against the Romans, against the Vikings, against the perfidious Aladdin.
Oh, no, not
With the
Vikings.
Acts of the Union of 1707, Scotland lost their cherished freedom, becoming merely a part of England's United Kingdom. Many voices through the following centuries would call for the sovereignty of Alba to be restored. And in 1943, St. Andrew's Cross would fly alone over Edinburgh one last time. Edinburgh. That's basically their capital.
Edinburgh.
Once again, but it would not be there by the struggle of Scotsmen, but through the desperate chaos of the United Kingdom destruction by German hands. In the decades since, Scotland has done their best to maintain their freedom in a world dominated by tyrants.
Why do I feel like you're one of those over-dramatic teachers who are teaching
President John
history?
McCormick and Prime Minister McKendry, aka ya boy, I don't remember the joke now. Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
To maintain their freedom in a world, with the assistance of a revived Scottish army under the nominally loyal Douglas Wimberley, has ruled the nation since he led the declaration of its independence nearly 20 years ago at the helm of Scottish National Party. He has done much to renew the spirit of prosperity of the people of Scotland, carefully balancing the principles of an independent nation with the necessity of cooperation with the Germans. However, trouble is brewing. McCormick grows old and tired, and many people speculate that his great statesman may finally be preparing for his departure. In addition, the growing English diaspora, who continue to flee our strangled neighbor to the south, are growing increasingly restless and causing problems both on the streets and in the halls of the power. The SNP held the Scottish nation together most admiringly, but with the balance of power in the Isles and in Europe continuing to shift, the future of Scotland seems impossible to predict. For Scotland! For freedom!
Yes. Scottish brother.
Was. Oh! Hitler names Heinrich his successor. My God.
Hitler's dead?
No, he's just naming him as a successor. Following the recent attempt on German Führer's life by suspected Keppetai agent, the pressure upon the Hitler to name an official successor and for the Reichstag to formally recognize the choice has been steadily building. After almost a week of debate and speculation, Adolf Hitler today appeared on live television from the Reichstag and announced to the Reich and his successor that his successor would be Reinhard Heydrich. Shock and outrage immediately consumed the Reichstag, with a quarter of the voice going against the nomination and another quarter abstaining the first non-unanimous vote in the history. While some haul this as an end to hostilities between Germany and the SS, only few are so forgiving, with the most viewing Heydrich as little more than a puppet of Bergstinger, as riots erupt across Germany in response. My God. Are they going to have a civil war?
Scottish brother.
Yes. This is our time to strike. Get the Scottish pop.
Wait.
What's?
If there will be a war, will we be included?
I think we might be able to get England on our side.
If we get England on our side, and we can attack them while they are hanging out with our boys at the bar in Scotland, then we can go over to their base, infiltrate it, and murder them.
Okay. I'm a little nervous. Oh, the King's speech. John McCormick looked out the window. Is that? No, that's Robert McKinley. Oh, unfortunately. John McCormick looked out the window of Hollywood. Outside was quite the large crowd awaiting his speech. As he had his papers in his hand, he looked for his president and a friend, Robert McCormick. Danny DeVito. Robert Kendry, who has smiled at him, gave him a thumbs up.
Riley.
John, I know, but Robert.
You said Cormac.
Yeah, but Cormac's up here. Then Robert, who had smiled at him and gave him a thumbs up. John thought that even though he was getting more sick, he would have quite the speech for the people of Scotland. He walked through the doors to the thunderous clapping and cheers of people yelling and calling him the king. People of Scotland, today I come to telling you our power and prosperity. While England suffers under the yoke of the Reich, we in Scotland are a beacon in the north. Our people stand independent and proud. For our country is one of the freedom and prosperity to all Scots and those who are willing to join us. While some of you may question our rule of the country, I assure you that we are the greatest chance for Scotland. Our democracy is representation and expression. We are the last democracy on these isles, and we shall stay that way. Wait, what does that mean? We don't want anyone else on these isles? Go away. No.
Scottish people only.
Yes.
Maybe England.
Our resolution and power are not to be understated by any challenger that even attempts to threaten us in these times. Our armed forces are proud and prepared for any attack on our soil. Our army is one of, if not the best armies on these isles. Our navy stands on guard to protect our interests in the North Sea and beyond. People of Scotland, we will not understated by the collaborators in the South. We are strong people, one that shall not be trifled with.
Riley,
what?
You know what I imagine? Someone's like, "Hey, yo, can I have a beer?" And they're like, "What did you say?"
As he finally ended his speech, another 10 minutes later, he was met with even more applause and chants calling him the king. He smiled and waved to the crowd before exiting back into Hollywood. As he walked in, many members of the SNP congratulated him on another great speech, including his friend Robert, who met him with a glass of whiskey. A cheer to Scotland.
Yes. You see, this person that tried to...
Am I going to be reading like a fucking essay every time like a thing pops up?
This person who tried to order that beer.
Yes.
That threatened us.
Well, we have a lot. We have air.
He didn't want any whiskey.
Look at them. We got some air. I'm going to put some exercises on them. It's exercise time.
They did not order whiskey.
Uh-huh.
They ordered wine.
Oh, mine. God.
Wait, brother.
What?
Did you just...
Wait.
Get him!
Jumped out the window.
He was coming to attack us.
Oh my God.
He just did it again.
Oh no! Wait! I can swear. I swear. I'm not. Oh wait, we completed the national purpose.
Why have you come for our forces?
Not quite alone. Aid the British Bill. Live from Glasgow. Okay, Glasgow is like, hold up. Glasgow. Where's Glasgow?
Glasgow.
I just looked up Spectrum. Apparently everybody's bitching. It's down 93% or something in the area. People are bitching. They're like, if this is normal stuff, why don't they do it like when nobody's awake? And so anyway.
Okay.
So it's down everywhere. Okay. You hear me?
Okay. Parker Williams had been
Remember
sitting on
looking at
this.
Netflix on the phone.
Okay, I know. You just have to turn off your Wi-Fi. Parker Williams had been sitting on the set of the SBC for the late afternoon broadcast. He had been reading through his script. As the technicians and producers ran across the set, today was a very pivotal day for the station. It was their first color broadcast. Due to them being one of the only true free news channels on the British Isles, due to this, they needed to hold a very pristine appearance to their people and the rest of the free world. A producer ran past Parker, telling him that they would be live in 15 minutes. Parker nodded and went back to reading his script. As he was surveying it for what felt like the 18th time, he noticed it being set up on the teleprompter. The SBC had recently acquired one that was relatively new. This one had been made this year and was very high tech.
Quit being an asshole.
Okay, this would be quite a landmark.
He went like this. He was scratching on the door again. I let him out, closed the door, and then he went like this. 2 seconds
Scotland's the last bastion of democracy on these isles.
Scotland.
And
Wait, you're German.
I'm not German. You're German.
You said German earlier, though.
Okay.
Sorry.
This one would be quite a Okay. This would be quite a landmark.
Fine.
Okay. This would be quite a landmark, thought Parker. While the collaborators had the EBC, most of their broadcasts had been in black and white and often bland. The pirate radio stations had been operated by more rebellious individuals and had been kept secret to the people of Britain that had been seen as a true representation of England. One more time passed and the producer came back around, telling him that since they had last talked, 12 minutes had passed. Parker regained his thoughts and told him he was ready. He walked up to the set, sitting next to Davis Marsh, his co-anchor. The two men discussed the current events in the world and their plan for who would be speaking. The lead producer then asked for all the technicians and the other members to be quiet as Parker opened his mouth and spoke. Hello, Scotland. Do we look different?
Who said that?
The guy that they're in a color broadcast. Oh, Scottish paranoia.
Wait.
We
To start a war.
We can't start a war yet.
On Germany.
Dude, did you see how big they
Brother,
are?
come here. I'm trying to get reaction to see if you're German or not. We need to start a war on Germany.
Everything is blue, and blue is their allies.
Where is Germany?
Them. The green is them, the blue is their allies. They're so big, eh?
What about us? We are so round.
We are just...
Wow. But they are right there.
Okay.
We must take them over.
Scotland is a democracy in a precarious situation. You say that. Though free, there is always the threat of the German malice crashing down on us. This is what the Scottish Armed Forces is constantly fearing. Since the onslaught was stopped at the border and Scotland became independent, our generals have been worrying about a German invasion. They want to be prepared. The commander of the armed forces, Field Marshal Douglas Wimberley, had inherited this paranoid stance from the former British Army. He thinks the Weimar might strike any second and wants to apply this on every soldier. He wants the armed forces to be in unbelievable state of complete built-up, always ready and a force to be reckoned with. As long as Germany exists, that may prove to be a grave problem for the government. If they let Wimberley roam free, he might consider fateful mistakes with his urge to overspend. Should the paranoia spread, the government will have a hard time with the military, which increasingly thinks the ruling party is against Scotland and for Germany. They cannot allow for the armed forces to reach a certain point in their fear where it might get dangerous. Thus, the government must toe the line. The armed forces must be reformed, but they might take this seriously ill and retaliate. Treading carefully is the way to go. Does fortune really favor the bold? Scotland's not looking good.
Brother,
We're scared.
go back to the...
Oh my god.
Wait.
What?
Wait. Go back to the fear thing. Whatever they used for the fear thing, whether they the deer con or whatever.
They're just really scared and they keep
Go
spending
back
money.
to it.
I can't go back to it.
Fuck you.
But basically, they're really scared, so they keep spending money on the army.
So are we? Oh, what level are we on? 5 or 4?
We're on 4, DEFCON 4,
Okay, I thought
which means that's a DEFCON below World War, above World War. Sorry. If we get to DEFCON 3, that means a world war is broken out.
We need that, but on German.
Why would we have a world war?
Because we need to.
That would almost certainly lead to DEFCON 1, a nuclear war, which could wipe out humanity. And Scotland is humanity.
Yes, that is true. But
Now, can we please read this?
It's fine.
Okay. Scapa Flow is one of the world's greatest natural harbors. Norsemen, Scotsmen, Englishmen all have taken advantage of its deep waters, and currently the Scottish fleet is the greatest in the Isles. The new Scots Navy, founded with the collapse of the Empire and the mutiny of large sections of the old Royal Navy at the prospect of German rule, Operation Trebuchet, a collaboration between British, American, and Commonwealth forces, provided support for large sections of the Royal Navy to defect to Scotland. Many of these ships had indeed been built in the great shipyards on the River Clyde, and Scotland provided a home for the British refugees who had crewed them. Our Navy is built around supporting the great carriers of the Empire, the NSS Furious, the NSS Victorious, and the NSS Indomitable.
Aren't those boats?
Yes, there are carriers.
Aha!
Supplemented by the array of cruisers, destroyers, and submarines, many constructed by the friendly state of Ulster, Belfast shipyards are some of the largest in Britain. While they may not be capable of supporting a large navy of their own, they are more than happy to accept their support on the seas. Friends on the British Isles are hard to come by, and we have supported each other through the troubled times of both German and Irish invasion. We can only hope that we will not have the need of this navy. Scotland rules the waves!
Oh, so tired.
God. We're going to aid the English bill. Thousands of Englishmen live in Scotland. Most of them refugees fleeing from German prosecution, collaborationist revenge, or dozens of camps and tent cities that do not dot the countryside. Many of them live in abject poverty, forced to either steal or accept any kind of job. To address this issue, the Parliament will discuss a bill to aid the poorest among the refugees with subsidiaries and work programs aimed at them. What?
Your mic is up.
It doesn't mean anything. They can still hear it.
Okay.
It passes, it fails. We can choose. Wait.
What passes or fails?
Like the English bill that is supposed to help the Englishmen. So if it passes, bill passes with our feet again. This is a defeat for our government. We'll need to implement it and oversee the subsidies and programs so they achieve their results. This will undoubtedly strengthen the ILP and weaken our majority. So that would help the Labour Party.
But
if it fails, as expected, the deal has been rejected by the Parliament. While the Englishmen living in Scotland will undoubtedly be unhappy about this, we can't be responsible for the results of their own mistakes. The ILP, of course, accusing us of leaving innocent people to starve, but we are constant of risk of starving ourselves. We'll need everything to ensure our future can be brighter. Ooh, should we fail or?
I think we should fail.
We should let. Do you think we should let the Englishmen starve in the countryside?
Yes, we need to get rid of the Englishman.
What?
Men.
You sound like a fascist.
We need to get rid of the.
But they've helped us. I mean, what are we gonna do? Just let our Englishmen die?
Brother, you don't understand.
But we need.
I don't think you know about this thing.
Are we gonna make? Are we gonna let the English and Scottish fight? Is that what you want to happen?
Yes, I want a nuclear war. So that we can get rid of everyone else but Scotland.
God fucking damn it.
Only Scotland.
The English menace. Abby dropped her sponge back in the bucket as her husband's black car rolled into the driveway.
Oh,
He
no,
wasn't
not
meant to be
sponge.
back for hours. Had something happened? Paul stepped out of the car, their eldest son, George, in tow. When George caught their gaze, he bowed his head shamefully and hurried back into the house. "Sorry, Mama," was all he said before the door slammed shut. Was he fighting again? She asked Paul. feeling her throat clench up. It's not his fault, dear. The other boys won't leave him alone. They keep accusing him of being a spy and forcing him to pay his Eddie, so they can play as Wimberley and beat him up. What the fuck? And it wasn't fair, Paul had thought in the same war. Blood against the name of the enemy. She had half her mind, and then Dottie was right, hiding in her Manchester accent as she did behind a practiced brogue. What's that you're cleaning, Paul asked, pointing to the sponge and freshly scrubbed pastry wall. Egg. Why can't they just leave us alone? So, basically, the Scottish and English are kind of getting angry at each other.
Why?
Like, because they're clashing. Because we're basically blaming them for letting the Germans get here. And they're like, it's not our fault, mate. And then, like, we're punching each other, basically.
See, brother, I told you this would happen.
But do we want it? We could have cooperation happen.
Yeah, but brother, our majority.
Why?
Our majority. If we fail, everything will be fine.
Why?
Except
But it's not right, I tell you.
brother, this is life. You think it's all unicorns and rainbows.
I think it needs to pass. We might lose our majority, Keelan. We might.
I think I am doing the French voice. And not Scotland.
I don't know. If it fails, then we're backstabbing our English.
Brother.
But they could help us against the Germans.
It's called take and don't give.
So we're gonna make it fail?
Yes.
I want it to pass, though.
You can't risk
You sound like a politician.
I do. I like
Find out on the next episode. Ba 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 ba.
Wait, what?
両手広げて戻ってし